Number 21. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the Holder of Rage. The person will appear shy as they show you to a door, and then walk away. When you enter the door, you'll be looking down a staircase that descends into darkness. As you descend the stairs, you will begin to hear screams. The screams will come from a throat of indeterminate origin. If the scream stops at any time, shout to the darkness, "Resume your business, I do not wish to intrude." If the scream does not come back, there's nothing you can do, for you'll be dead before you know what happens. If the scream continues, you may move on. Eventually, you'll see a light coming through a crack in the door. Go through this door and you will see what appears to be a medieval dungeon. Hollowed-out skulls filled with candles serve as lanterns, and skeletons line the walls. There will be a wooden table in front of a fire inside of a fireplace. On this table is a severed head of a 4-year-old girl, staring ahead with glassy eyes. Step up to the table and look the head in the eyes. In a clear, commanding voice, ask, "Who will stop them from coming together?" The head will look you in the eyes and tell you the tale of a man. She'll tell you his entire story, from his violent birth to what he's doing at that very moment. His deeds will be recounted in horrifying detail. He is a murderer, of which the likes have never been seen, and he is just as mad. If at the end of the story the head tells you he is listening to our conversation, you'll be dragged out of the room and never be heard from again. You'll experience all the most horrifying things ever conceived, and you'll be kept alive until you have experienced them all. If she tells you he is elsewhere, he is now looking for you. He will not stop until you are dead or the objects come together. She will tell you to pick her up. Pick the head up by the hair and look at the table where she was. Sitting there will be a needle, covered in dried blood, semen, pus, and countless unidentifiable substances. The needle is object 21 of 538. The hunt has begun, and the clock is ticking. Number 22. In any city, in any country, go to any hospital and ask to visit the one who refers to himself as the Holder of Chaos. The clerk will begin to shake his head and pound his fists upon the desk. Ask him thrice more, and he will stand up quickly and lead you to a room with only one door, the one which you entered through. You must close your eyes. If you don't, you will forever be stricken blind, and the only thing you will see is the constant sight of utter chaos. If you have closed your eyes in time, after an hour of standing in confusion, you'll hear a soft voice call out. Do you have them? Do not answer this question. Instead, stomp your foot upon the floor and then open your eyes. If you see a long, stretched field in front of you, then you have succeeded in the first half of your endeavor. If you see a fiery plain of death and mutilation, then it's too late for you. You'll be devoured by your own thoughts of your greatest fears. Walk towards the sun setting in the grassy field for 1 hour until you reach a tree with no leaves on its branches. As you get closer, you'll see that the tree is constructed out of bones, and it is surrounded by a pool of blood. Submerge yourself fully in this blood, and when you surface once more, you'll feel a bone hand press something into your palm. It's a small vial. Drink from the vial, and you'll find yourself standing in the lobby of the hospital. This vial is object 22 of 538. The hour is nigh, and the demons are calling. Number 23. In any city, in any country, go to any hospital and ask to visit the Holder of Hate. The attendant will give you a firm handshake, look you straight in the eyes, and say, "It took you long enough." They will hand you a key to room 532 and tell you to go down the left hall. As you walk down the hall, you will hear insane cackling. Should it stop, yell, "I do not fear you." If it does not begin again, run as fast as your legs will carry you. Should it continue, keep walking. Stop when you reach room 532. The door will be covered in scratches, gashes, and all manner of burns. There will be a small, strange, unscarred glass panel on the door. Peer inside. If there's a figure standing with his back to you, retreat as quietly as you can. If the room is empty, unlock the door and enter. A red light will be shining in through the sole window in the room. Should you gaze at the window, your eyes will soon burst from their sockets, and your screams will be the only utterance for all eternity. The room is small, the walls covered in blood. A small cloaked figure sits in the middle. It will respond to only one question: why do they hate? The figure's cloak will fly into the air, revealing a grotesquely disfigured being. It'll answer your question in horrific detail. Upon finishing the story, it'll collapse, as if a tremendous burden has passed from its shoulders, and crawl into a corner. You'll begin to hear strange, unearthly shrieks from beyond the door. They will be getting nearer by the second. Your only hope is to wrap yourself in the cloak and hurl yourself out the red window. If you are not followed, you'll wake up in the lawn of the hospital the next day, wrapped snugly in the cloak. The cloak is Object 23 of 538. It'll hide you from their hate. Number 24. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit the holder of color. The warden will glance up at you and give you a shy smile before holding out his hand to you. You must wait precisely 8 seconds before taking it, or the colors themselves will deny you, and you may not enter. The warden will stand and lead you to a cell, opening the door for you and motioning you to enter. Inside the cell, you'll find 2 little boys, both garbed in shades of gray, and their skin and hair will appear as if all color has drained out of them. One has long hair and wears a white dress, while the other wears a black suit and has hair cut short. Only look into the white one's eyes, for they are normal, and the eyes of the black-clothed boy will lead you into madness. Each will wear 1 glove and hold out both their hands to you. Take only the gloved hand of each, for should you touch the black-clothed boy's flesh, you'll be plagued with the worst agony in all the universe. But you'll not die, and he will not let go. Should you touch the white-clothed boy's flesh, you will feel more pleasure than you ever experienced, but he will soon pull his hand away, and you'll never feel that pleasure again. No matter how you yearn for it, your lust will kill you. The boys will look at each other and nod once. Should they shake their hands, close your eyes and quickly say, "I am not what you seek, but I can change the tides." Once you say this, they'll both giggle and pull on your hands, opening a trap door in their cell and descending into darkness. The boys will speak in unison, endlessly bragging about their riches, all the things they have. They'll ask you many times if you're jealous. Each time you must simply answer, yes. Your fate now lies in the hands of these boys. The stairs you descend are long and grow even narrower, until finally 1 boy will go in front and 1 in back. Should the boy in black go in front, consider yourself lucky. Life now is at your back. But should he go in back, your death will be agonizing, and he will throw you from the stairs to the abyss below. After what seems like an eternity, you'll reach the end of the stairs, and both boys will push you to a large glass door. They will stare after you, tears streaming down their face, and tell you that they can go no further, but point to the door you must enter. The room is pitch black, save for a single beam of light at its direct center. Standing in the light is a woman, much like the boys, completely stripped of color. Her hair and gown both reach the earth, each as white as her flesh. Her eyes are only whites, staring blankly at you. If she should smile at you, you've amused her, and she will light up the entire room with her light, and you will become one with the writhing bodies that make up the collection beneath her glass floor. Should she frown, she will turn her back and light up the part of the room behind her, awakening several other beings: a cackling man who wears just black, a weeping man garbed in white, a snarling man with piercing red eyes, a grimacing woman who wears only pink petals, an emotionless girl enveloped in green, a sickly man with silver hair, and a smirking gentleman covered in riches. They are to be your judges. You must pick the one that you feel will do you justice and walk towards them, asking along your way, when will they strip you of this earth? Should you choose the wrong color, the one you have chosen will stand very still and smile at you eerily, and you will soon feel yourself slipping away into nothingness. Should you have chosen the correct color, they will respond with a hideous screech, pointing fearfully at the woman in the center of the room. The others will scream curses at you in many different languages, and you will feel piercing pain rip through your body. Soon, the one you have chosen will step forward and embrace you, and whisper in your ear their sickening tales. The stories of your demise, of the demise of the world, when every breath will fade away. Do not move. The curses will stop, and the room will be lit, the seven all staring at you. Where the woman was, there will now be a small feather, like that of a dove, changing its color continuously. The feather is object 24 of 538. With it, you can take away what was theirs to give. Number 25. In any city, in any country, go to any hospital and ask to visit the one who refers to himself as the holder of creation. The clerk will look into your eyes, horrified, before standing up. She, and only she, will lead you to the maternity ward and push you into a locked door, which you will glide through. Once inside the door, you'll notice two more, one to the left and one to the right. You must choose the one in the direction to which you are most accustomed, hoping all the while that fate has correctly guided your hand. Touch the door handle. If light peeks from under the doorway, you must enter. If it doesn't, you must run into the other room as fast as you can. Sleep where you drop, and do not trust anyone. Do not enter the sunlight. Seek shadows, and pray to whatever god you wish that you passed unnoticed. If the light is emitted from beneath the door, or if by some miracle you evade capture after your error and return to choose once more, enter cautiously. The room seems to stretch into eternity. Make no attempt to comprehend its size or shape, as even men greater than you have been driven mad at the thought. Strewn across the entirety of the room are the bodies of the stillborn and the fetuses of the unborn. Those capable of sound will be seeming to pierce the very fabric of your consciousness with cries, which appear to be both audible and a figment of your imagination. On the horizon will be a mother, little more than a child herself, clutching a baby wrapped in a tattered blanket to her teat. Closer examination of the suckling infant will lead you pondering its true age. Its expression seems weathered and careworn, an eternal knowing glance, assuring you that its eyes have forgotten more than most will ever see. Approach the mother calmly. Should you startle her and interrupt her feeding, your only hope is to whisper, "I wish not to disturb you, nor your beautiful son." If you have appeased her, position yourself as to gaze directly into the child's eyes. Once there, you must not break eye contact for fear of upsetting the infant and bringing your own doom. You may ask him one question, and one question only. For what have we been created? The baby will move and wrap its tattered cloth around you, binding you and rendering you limb from limb. Yet you must not react to the pain or risk never returning to your original form. If you can overcome the agony, he will stare into your eyes and you will see the beginning of the cosmos. All things that have been since the creation of existence will unfold before your eyes. The truth of the origin of the Seekers will be brought to life, and if you're not driven insane by this truth, you will feel the warmth of this knowledge glowing inside you. This heat will grow until the pain of the burn outweighs that of your torn flesh 1,000-fold. You'll feel your body melt away, burning into nothing save ash. At the peak of your anguish, If you have managed to remain stoic, you will blink the eyelids which you no longer have, opening them to find you've returned outside exactly 1 day before the incident. In your hands, you'll find a tattered manuscript, the text of which seems to predict existence. The object is 25 out of 538. This book yearns to return the other objects to it, and within it is the cryptic knowledge of how to do so.